Does a road win over the Chiefs make the Cowboys the NFC favorite? Because we broke it down, and Mike, I mean, you can obviously feel free to weigh in on this, but I know you kind of feel that way already. But I get the sense from the power rankings yesterday, that the consensus is that the Packers are the favorites in the NFC right now, with the Cowboys kind of being like in that second position potentially.
With Arizona,
yeah,
right? I mean,
exactly.
Yesterday the power rankings say Green Bay's 1, Arizona and Dallas are, you can pick 2 or 3.
And now you have a resurgent Kansas City Chiefs team that's won 3 in a row. Patrick Mahomes, the AFC Offensive Player of the Week. We talked about that yesterday. If the Cowboys go up there to Arrowhead, where they're underdog, it's only 2.5 points, but they go up there, they win. They're now 8-2, another quality win to go on their resume. What say y'all?
I say that makes them the favorites.
Championship.
Oh my God!
I think,
are you being sarcastic, or?
I mean, listen, it's a game that you win. That's all it does. Because we've seen so many teams evolve and change throughout this season. I want to be the one that gets all excited about this, but Mike's already laid out that he's dubbing the Cowboys a Super Bowl champion, so I can't be all rosy right now. I have
Why can't you also think that?
Because I have to really think realistically about what it is. It is a win if they beat the Chiefs. It is nothing else. Teams have beaten the Chiefs this season. It's not as if they are undefeated. It is going to be awesome, and it should be a celebration on Monday, and we should celebrate all the way through Peace-a-thon. But then you got to play the Raiders.
Like you're excited.
Okay, well, what happens if they beat the Chiefs and lose to the Raiders? Then what? Do they become not favorites?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
But
I'm serious. I'm not
so
kidding.
They're favorites for 3 days.
Could be.
Okay, so that's why Kevin, I want them to be like, I want them to go out there and whoop their ass, and everybody will walk back and be like, did y'all see? Mahomes got shut down. He couldn't do anything against this team. And it also, I guess it depends on how they win too. If they win, it would depend how they do it. Do they do it and they just, like, the Chiefs score 3 points and the Cowboys score 43? Or do they go out there and they barely squeak out a 43-42 win?
Would that not impress you?
You know what would impress me the most, Kevin? A scorigami victory.
Okay.
All right.
Now, I do want to go back to something you just said. Let's just say, and it doesn't have to be 43-3, but let's just say they go in to Arrowhead and they just stomp all over the
for
Chiefs.
3 days, NFC favorites.
Okay.
You know,
and then you have to re-earn that title every time.
Actually, I don't know if I can do that.
What?
I think Green Bay is the favorite right now. Dak, as good as he is, and what the Cowboys are doing is awesome. This is great, but I still think Green Bay is a favorite at the moment when Aaron Rodgers is on the field. I don't know how you can take that away from him, except for you kind of go back in his history and look, and I mean, they were really good last year, and then they lost to Tom Brady in the playoffs.
You're not going to buy my argument that because they lost to the Chiefs. I get there were extenuating circumstances in that loss, but can I not just say, hey, they lost to the Chiefs. We beat the Chiefs.
Do you think that they would have been better if Love's mom had been closer to the field, and so he could hear her cheering for him? All right,
I do.
Probably be. He couldn't hear anything when she's way up there in that blimp.
Yeah, she literally, if you don't know what that's referencing, because we've joked about it a couple times, look it up. Like, Jordan Love's mom, and I feel like there was somebody else with her, literally are sitting in the top row of the stadium. And I'm not using literally incorrectly. She is actually in the top row of the stadium.
I just, if the Packers win this weekend and the Cowboys win this weekend, I'm still looking at the Packers going, they're the one right now. They're the one running through the gauntlet right now.
Okay.
I can get by with saying something about the Cardinals until Kyler gets back. I think that the Cardinals are really good when Kyler's on the field. But I think that's the great thing is you're kind of right there in that trio of the best 3 teams, and you could probably flip a coin on any one of those teams and say they're the best.
I like what Corey's saying because it is tough to separate right now. There hasn't been anybody that you just say, God, Green Bay separated themselves from the pack. I get why they're number 1 in the power rankings, but I feel like we can go to Green Bay. You know, that'll be for later in the show. I would much rather play them here. And for some weird reason, he always plays great against us in the playoffs and then doesn't play as great against other teams. But I think the Cowboys, if they win this game, I could see where we would be doing power rank the power rankings next week. and that the Cowboys could be number one.
Yeah.
I think it would mean a lot to their ranking if they go to Kansas City, what you laid out, Kevin. They're on a 3-game winning streak.
Yep.
Kansas City, they just blew out Las Vegas. And if you go up there and you win, you either outscore them or you turn them over a lot again. Maybe you turn them over a lot as I'm talking, then they would blame the Chiefs and not give credit to the Cowboys.
Mahomes is back to what he was, and on and on and on. Somebody brought up an interesting point because I hadn't really considered it like that, because we've talked about some of the good wins that the Cowboys have had. Do they have a marquee win like the rest of the NFC? Because you're looking at, I mean, I'm starting to think that Patriots win is going to look like your marquee win, but you had the Rams beat the Bucks, you had the Packers beat the Cardinals, you had the Cardinals beat the Rams. Like, it kind of like they've all, a lot of them have played each other, and then the Bucks, of course, have beaten the Cowboys.
Is your signature win the win over the Vikings without Dak Prescott?
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty dang impressive as well. But, I mean, otherwise, don't you feel like your best 2 wins are against AFC teams in terms of the Chargers and the Pats?
I guess you're kind of hanging your hat, too, on a loss to Tampa Bay, and that you were that close in that game on the road in what we discussed was a real Super Bowl or playoff environment because of the way that they were treating it. So, yeah, you've had a couple things. That's a great thing, too, about your schedule. Schedule's fallen in your favor this year. This is a good thing, the way that this schedule's laying out for you. But I guess, Kevin, we discussed yesterday, running through the gauntlet of the next 2 weeks could really signify, oh, that is what that team is. And I think the rest of the country would be like, oh, they've changed.
Okay.
Because a lot of people, I think, look at the Cowboys and go, at some point they'll fold. At some point they're going to screw something up. And I think this is just, again, I go back to this. This is a uniquely different coach team.
Let me ask you this then, because I hear what you're saying, because you got the Raiders game coming up quickly, and I know you got the Saints after that. If, let's just say, regardless of what the Packers do, Cowboys are sitting at 10-2. Does that change, or the Packers are 10-2? You're like, huh?
I think it's still the same. Well, and again, hold on, who are the Packers playing in that span?
The Packers have the Vikings next. I know. After that, I'm not as familiar with their
Rams.
Ooh.
But the Rams are spiraling right now.
Well, the Rams have had a couple of losses, and they lost going into a bye week. Like, didn't the Cowboys came out of a bye week? And
look, if you're ever looking for me to explain what happened in that Denver game, I do not think I will ever be able to do so.
And again, like the Rams game could go either way, Kevin. They have to play the Ravens too, and I don't know about the Browns, and that's Ravens on the road. But I don't know about the Browns. But, that's going to be fighting for seeding at that point, whenever you get to that point. So it's going to be a weekly, like, do they want home field? Does it matter to them? And do the Cowboys, a team that hasn't gotten there that frequently, understand the importance of it? Like, why they need it? And does it make sense to them, and a lot of the young players, of why having home field, why squeaking out that extra win is going to be so important?
I'll let you guess which part of this fan text I added. Corey is dumb. If Dallas wins convincingly, then yes, they should be considered the best team in the NFC. They didn't say you were dumb.
Did they?
No, they didn't. I swear. They really didn't. From the 903.